Hi, good morning, everyone. But apparently, start back again. Rewind. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Mr. Aris, and we are here for the first lesson in English for Primary 4. So I hope that all of us here have actually gone to the Learn tab and attempted Lesson 1. It's really important that we do so, because then if you have any questions while doing it, you can actually raise it up during the lesson. Okay, so today we have quite a bit to cover. We have the grammar MCQs, we have the vocabulary, as well as the comprehension. So what we'll do is that we will go through each question and we look at the different options. Okay, then we'll identify what's the correct answer and why it's the correct answer. So it's not about just getting the answer right or wrong, but we have to know why each option is right or each option is not appropriate in this sense for each question. Okay, everyone clear? Okay, so before this, I'm going to quickly check if any of us has actually joined the session. Okay, apparently not. Okay, let me check again. Quickly, I'm going to check if there are any participants. Okay, there are no participants so far. No problem. So we'll go back to the PowerPoint. Now, the first section is on grammar. That means we have to know which tenses are appropriate in which situation. That means present tense or past tense, singular or plural. That's what grammar is about. Also, the correct prepositions like in, on, at, above, like prepositions that are to be used. So let's look at the first question. Social science, especially civics and geography, blank, my favorite subject. Okay, there are a few options here. We can see the question is social science, and then especially civics and geography, there is a comma before and after. And finally, we can see it says favorite subject, which means one subject. So basically what we're doing, you look at what's between the commas and block it out. If you block it out completely, you read social science, blank, my favorite subject. So what would it be? Social science had been, is, are, or have been. So social science is one subject, so it cannot be are and cannot be have been, because are and have been is for plural, for many. So it's now had been or is. So if it's a fact and singular, then it should be social science is my favorite subject. Now, but when to use had been? Had been is in the past. That means now it's no more. But now you're just making a sentence, whether it's a fact or not. So you can say social science is my favorite subject. If it was your favorite subject, then you can say social science was my favorite subject, but there's no was in the options. Okay, so if there's had been, there's an explanation after that. For example, social science had been my favorite subject until I failed my first test. Well, you could also say social science was my favorite subject until I failed my exam. So here had been is a bit confusing to have as an option, and it doesn't fit anyhow. Normally had been would have a verb after that, like I had been playing, I had been running, yeah, or I had been to Paris, for instance. Okay. So let's see if anyone has joined us again. No one has joined us. So let me go back to the PowerPoint. Let's go next question. The answer is social science is my favorite subject. It's a fact. Had been is only when you talk about the past of the past. There's a story after that. Okay, let's look at the next one. This crate of eggs, blank, past the expiry date. So again, look at it, this crate of eggs. This crate, how many crates are there? One crate. Although the eggs is there, but the eggs is in the crate. So we're talking about one crate. One crate, which is singular. One crate of eggs, this crate of eggs, past the expiry date. Can you say have passed the expiry? Are past the expiry? So it's singular, that have and are cannot be used, right? So now the question is or has? Okay, let's look at the word past. Is past a verb? That's a good question, right? So there's two, this is a tricky one, because it's P-S-S-E-D or P-A-S-T. This is a verb, but this is not. This is an adverb. Like I walk past the teacher's room. Okay. Here is, you cannot say I walked past the teacher's room. I passed the teacher's room. Right. So here is this crate of eggs is past. Okay. If you want to use has, then it will be has passed. It has passed the expiry date. Like I have passed the teacher's room many times. Are you with me? Yeah. But I walked past the teacher's room. Or I walked past. With me? Okay, good. Now, there was a box of old toys outside my neighbor's flat. Think about it while I check for any new participants. Okay, so far no. So let us go back. Okay, let me go back again. No new participants. So I'm going back to PowerPoint. What a box of old toys. So a box of old toys. There are many toys, but we're talking about the box. How many boxes are there? There is one box. So since there's only one box, you can say there is a box. There's one box. Cannot be a because that's plural. Cannot be have because it's also plural. So we cross that out. Now, can you say there has a old? No, there is or there are. Okay. If you want to use has, there has been, or there had been. Okay, but here there is is a fact. Outside your neighbor's house now, outside, there is a box of toys. Okay, it's very clear. So this. Okay, now you try the next one. There's no one here to try, but you can look at it. If the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow existed, so if it existed, okay, so that means it's a hypothetical situation and in the past. So if it existed, because it's past, we also must use past. So will go is not past, go is not past, am going is not past, but would go is past, but would is in the past tense. So if the goal existed, I would go look for it. If the question is, if the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow exists, I change this word to E-X-I-S-T-S. S because singular, one pot gold. Then the answer will be I will go. Okay, so if it exists because singular, then you will say will go. But because existed, you say would go. Understood? Let's go next one. The manager was totally what by Robert's plans. So now this is called phrasal verbs, all of these, because there's a verb and there's a preposition. Okay, we need to learn phrasal verbs, right? Okay, so this we have to just learn it, okay? Or if we read a lot, then probably we will be able to know. If we don't read so much, then we will not be able. Okay. Should I on my video so you can see who I am? Let me try. Let me try. I'm going to go to Zoom again. And I'm going to check. Oh, but I can't because if I do the start video, I think you won't be able to see me. Let me see. Start video. Oh, you can see me, right? Okay, so I'll go to my screen. Can you see me? No, you still can't see me, so it makes no sense. So I don't have to start. Okay. I think what happens is that when I share my screen, then the video just switches. Now the manager was totally what by Robert's plans? Bowled out, bowled away, bowled over, and bowled in. Okay, first of all, there's no bowled in as a phrasal verb, and there's no bowled away. That we have to know. So we have to understand what's bowled out. Bowled out is like when you play cricket and the people who are batting get striked out. That means they are out. They miss they are unable to hit or bat the ball, and because the ball has hit the wicket, the guy who threw, the bowler has managed to throw the ball and hit the wicket, and so they are out. So you bowl someone out. The whole team is bowled out, meaning all of them have lost their chance to hit. So the whole team is out, then the next team gets a chance to bowl. But here it's nothing to do with cricket, right? Now, so bowl over means someone is amazed or surprised in a pleasant way. That means it was amazing plans. So when the manager heard it, he was like, oh, wow. So that's bowl over, to be amazed. Amazed, astounded. Okay, so you don't think of only one word. When you learn English, think of what other words can be used. You can say the manager was totally astounded, totally amazed, totally surprised by Robert's plans. So you should have a small book where you can keep new words, write down new words that you learn every day or every time you